will get you up first. And then anyone else? Just line up back here. Please welcome to the stage, Full Papers.
Hey, I have a question. I have a question for the audience and for the VAs. Did you all enjoy that wonderful script? Well, here's a request of you all. How about a massive round of applause for the one and only Vivid Syntax who wrote that?
Yes.
Vamp. Sonny, vamp. Vamp.
What?
Vamp. I don't know. Do something.
Okay, so in Everfree Northwest,
There we go.
we were talking about
Oh, yeah.
potato salad. I'm serious. So there was a debate about dill. Does dill belong in the potato salad? Yes.
Sometimes.
Yes. Because we're in the we're in the Midwest. I want to see what the Midwest vibe on dill in the potato salad is. Yes. I got a yes. Okay, now hands up for no dill in the potato salad. Okay, so my grandma used to do this thing where she'd chop up the little baby pickles and throw them in there.
Ooh, great.
Is that still considered dill, or is that more of a crunchy vinegar thing?
No, that's awesome.
Right? Little pickles and potato salad, yes? Okay, I see where we are. Little pickles and potato salad, no.
Yes.
First.
Okay, we've got the dill
Pickles
people over
in
here
everything.
and the anti-dill
Ice
people
cream.
over here.
Yeah.
I see how you
Pickles
are.
best in everything.
Pickles.
We
pickles
put up
best.
signs before they walked in. They had to pick a side. Also, hi, Full Papers is making me stay out here.
You've been forced.
All right, we're good?
All right, are we ready for our first question?
Amazing.
Hello, for the voice actors. Do you have any funny or intense stories from the booth when you're actually doing your trade?
There was an episode where Yona has to belch and big burp, and I can't do it. And out of nowhere, Tabitha's like, "I got you," and just lets out the loudest, best burp I've ever heard in my life, and I'm striving for that in my career. There one day.
I like Brussels sprouts.
Random gaseous explosions in the booth.
Yeah.
Tabitha's got great stunt burps. Yeah. Yeah, incredible.
I'll never get there, but it's fine. Well, not that attitude. I'm gonna stop myself right there.
Nice. Believe in yourself. I don't have any particularly nothing jumps out from the pony sessions, but I got an opportunity to play two characters in a show when we were doing Mega Man, and I was so excited to be like, okay, this is cool. I'm gonna get to play against myself, play in the same scene as two different characters. It's gonna be so much fun. And I got in and I completely flubbed it. It was the hardest day I've ever had behind a microphone. And Vincent Tong was being so kind. He showed up on that day and he gave me a big thing of throat coat, and he's just like, you're gonna want this. And anyways, I thought I flubbed it really badly, and yeah, I had to go back in and pick up the other character. It was really hard. That's the hardest day I've ever had behind a microphone, emotionally and physically. Rough. But I made it through, and the check's cleared.
It's funny you mentioned Vincent Tong being kind, because that was my day in the booth. It was the big fight scene at the end of season 8, and I'm in there just yelling to nobody because Chancellor Naysay was not there. Tara Strong and Maurice LaMarche were recording from LA, so it's just me talking to nobody, and Vincent Tong's like, hey, let me read those other lines with you. I'm like, oh, thank goodness. Thank you. Because otherwise you're just talking to yourself like a lunatic and nothing really makes any sense. So, way to go, Vince. Praises to you. Where is he? No, up to Biggie. Up to Vince. Vince?
I don't have a fun recording moment from, it was fun. I was by myself, though, when I did my Little Pony gig. But when I'm on a show called Dragon Prince, and the person who plays my brother in the show, who's also he's like my brother in real life, his name is Jesse Nakalia, and he and I are always sitting together, we're sitting next to each other when we do recordings, And there was one session where there was like a bunch of us. You may have even been there. Well, you don't know the rest of my story, so just wait. Okay. So we had to play soldiers also. Like we had to do walla, so we just had to make noises. And Jesse and I, we were tired, but also just messing around. So we started singing "One Day More" from Les Mis. Everyone upset except for Jesse and I. You remember that? Were you there for that?
I wasn't there.
Wait, what story were you thinking of?
The time when your pants fell down.
What? I pulled them down myself. They didn't fall down. I did.
Oh, that's so much better.
The 18 plus panels are this evening. Let's keep in mind that this is G-rated.
I got another pair of pants on, so it's okay. I'm done talking. Thank you for your question.
Is that how you end all your interviews? I'm done now. You may leave.
Thank you.
So I got a funny one. Since the premise of the whole G5 thing is magic disappeared and all G4 is an ancient, was it Cozy Glow all along that stole the rest of the magic from her stone prison, do you think?
I like to think so.
We can all agree.
Thank you.
Is there someone in particular or something that you miss now that the show is over?
Everybody.
Yeah, just seeing. I mean, like,
The show ends and then we get the pandemic. Are you kidding me?
yeah.
Are
I
you
know.
kidding me?
I know.
Are we sure that the one didn't cause the other?
That's
Or did it?
lunch. No, we don't know. It ended in October 2019, and then like shit.
This is
hit the
an
fan. So
untested
18 later. Sorry.
Hello, everybody. So I had first off, it's really great to see all of you again in person. With the spirit of Halloween coming up very soon, I wanted to know, did you ever have a favorite Halloween costume for when you were a kid or in a early life?
I once dressed up when I was, I guess I was a kid. I was in high school as Ellis from Left 4 Dead 2. And I walked around with a katana on my back for the entire day, and I probably shouldn't have done that, but you know, it was fun. I enjoyed that costume.
Yeah, I got to be original Princess Leia with the buns on the side of my head. And my hair was long enough to create actual buns, and it was, my costume was my leftover angel costume from the Christmas pageant the previous December. And my mom's like, this is easy, you're Princess Leia, boom, done. And I was so happy.
I got to be Trunks from Dragon Ball Z, and it was awesome. It was so great. And also, I was a little cute lion when I was a little baby, at like peak cuteness. Peak cuteness. It was precious.
You're still at peak cuteness, I'd say.
Stop.
Yes, you are, Cole.
You're sure this was when you were little and not like last year?
It was this morning.
Yeah. It's just a teaser for this year.
I wanted to say, me and my cousin did like a Alvin and the Chipmunks costume. That was my favorite. However, I am remembering now in this fun little moment, I was Baby Bop and my other cousin was Barney when we were little, and it was pretty iconic. In fact, I'm gonna text my mom after this and be like, find the costume, like try and fit into it. I won't.
Well, thank you guys very much.
I'm going to butt in because I have a costume that I'm very proud of. This was when I was in high school. I dressed myself up. It was basically just a big cardboard box. I told people I've dressed up as a podium. They asked, well, what are you? And I said, oh, I'm the fear of public speaking. They asked, well, what does that mean? So I'd shout, attention everyone! And then plop down right in front of them. A cue card they had to take a prompt from. It was miserable for everyone but me.
I'm stealing that. I'm totally stealing that.
Hi, Zipper Cody Go. How fun was voicing your character in My Little Pony Friendship and Madness?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question, please?
For Cody Go, how fun was voicing your character in My Little Pony Friendship and Madness? Voice acting.
So Cozy,
How fun was it?
how much fun did you have?
All the
What was
fun.
Cozy?
I had all the fun. It was so much fun because I got to be the villain, and when you're the villain, you get to be big and loud and mean, and you don't have to rein it in. It was a blast. Absolute. So much fun.
Okay, nice.
Thank you.
Can you imagine if she'd said, "Oh, it was terrible"?
Worst day
Never.
So I'm curious. I know we didn't appear until later in the series, like
Oh,
eight,
the
so
microphone's
I'm
gotten
curious as to like how you got picked for the voice of Terramar.
Oh, sorry, can you repeat the question one more time?
How did you get picked for the voice of Terramar? Like, how did all the auditioning go and all that stuff?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. And to be honest, I don't really know. As with anything with the job of voice acting, the job of voice acting is trying to get work, right? It's ramming your head against a wall and standing in the closet and going, I don't know what they want. I auditioned for My Little Pony maybe a half dozen times for different characters, different roles, and sincerely, every time I'd just be in my closet being like, I don't know what they want out of me. Like, I'm trying here. And then with Terramar, I just got lucky. It was just serendipity. It was, I wish I knew exactly why or how I got the part, because then I'd just do that again. But yeah, I think it's a combination of luck and persistence, and then when the opportunity came up, I was happy to be able to just do it. Yeah, what a ride. Sorry?
That microphone keeps cutting out.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Very generous.
Well, you actually said something interesting. You said something about auditioning in your closet?
Yes.
Do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I mean, we've transitioned more into sending MP3 auditions in, as opposed to auditioning in person in beautiful studios, which stinks, because my favorite thing ever is just performing in front of people. I like when I get to perform in front of people and watch it work. But for the most part, all auditions now are done in the privacy of my closet, where I just stand behind a microphone and try to do the right thing, which is really frustrating because I really like taking direction and I like performing in front of people. That's the joy of the thing. And so whenever I get an opportunity to perform in front of people, it's like, I'm reborn. So yeah, but most of the time it's me auditioning in my underwear in my closet and just being
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm so tired. It's 11:30. It's due tomorrow. I'm just gonna go to sleep and worry about it then.
and then I'm emailing my agent like, I'm sorry, it's gonna be 15 minutes late because I'm a procrastinator. And anyways, they're just like, I don't know what they want, I'll send it in. And sometimes it works and most of the time it don't. But that's the way it works. That's how it goes.
This one's for Cole. I first would like to say it was very nice to meet you at CyberFest last year doing our one-on-one Zoom call.
Yes.
I'm so glad they let us a couple extra minutes.
Yeah,
Another question I wanted to tell you then, but I'll tell you now. What was like really memorable to you when you worked on the Surf and Turf, the introduction to Terramar, working with Maddie, Michelle, and Claire?
Yeah, well, that was one of the things about the episode that I got on. I was so excited to go in and like record with the cast and like see those people and get to watch them work, and they weren't there. So it was me and I'm trying to remember who else was there. I think Michelle wasn't there. Like none of the ladies were there. Yeah, it was like me and Peter.
Because Claire and Maddie are usually gone, and Michelle would be there.
Yeah, she won. What? It was me and I think Peter New and maybe Lauren Jackson. I think. And I love working with them was incredible. But honestly, like the coolest thing was waking up that morning and being like, oh my god, I get to do ponies today. Like I woke up early, which never happens. But I woke up early and I got breakfast and I showed up to the studio early and I was drinking a coffee and I was just basking in the glow. And then I did the episode and then I left, and then for the rest of the day I was just like, oh my god, I did it. I called my mom and I was like, Mom, guess what? Guess what I recorded today? Like, stop calling me, I'm at work. But you have to know! Yeah, it was great. And that's the story of how I breached my NDA.
And the follow-up, when you finally saw the full-length episode, what did...
Oh, it's just staggering. It's the height of privilege to see your voice come out of a cartoon, particularly one that I know that people are watching. It's like I said, yeah, it's the height of privilege, and it was. I mean, it's hard to describe what it's like because it's just, you know, like seeing yourself on camera or something. Like it's like, oh yeah, that's me pretending. But seeing yourself in a cartoon, you're like, that's a cool character. That's not me at all. That's Caramar. You know, it's the best. It's one of the best parts of the job. Yeah.
That's hypocrite.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the questions. Appreciate it.
Quick question for all of you. But what is your favorite part about each of your characters?
Sorry, about each of our characters?
Yeah.
I just love that mine's a little psychopath. You know, people ask, well, she's a child and they treat her just so harshly. I'm like, no, girl is like 28. She's a big fake liar. I like that people didn't know she was going to be a big fake old liar. Like, okay, here's another cute pony, whatever. Oh, she came back. Well, maybe she's kind of devious. And the fun unfolding of her villainry, that was, to me, was just a trip. I love that.
There's so many things I love about Yona. I love being loud. So
we noticed
getting to just like scream all the time. Today was a nice reminder of how raspy her voice is. Like, oh yeah, geez, ooh, gotta get used to that again. I loved how sweet she was. You know, she yells and she smashes through things, but she's such a big sweetheart, and I wish that I was a little bit more like her. I mean, I think I'm a sweetheart sometimes.
I think you're a sweetheart, but just not as destructive.
Just not, no.
Well, it has been a while.
I broke my arm falling down my stairs last year, so I'm pretty destructive.
Is it the lack of horns you regret? Because we got vendors who can hook you up, I'm sure.
I need some.
yes.
But I think far and away my favorite thing about Terramar is that it's that he's a vehicle for a pretty important, an important and somewhat underrepresented thing that happens a lot. People having divorced parents or people not feeling at home in one place or another. And I love that it resonates. And it was a really incredibly well-written character and really fun to do, very rewarding.
Similar to Cole, my favorite thing about Kerfuffle is that she spoke so loudly to so many people. Literally, but also in so many other ways. Also that fur vest, I mean, come on. Good vest.
Can I change my answer? Okay, no, what I liked about my character was she was a villain who didn't look like a villain, and I think that's an important message for children, especially because just because someone looks nice and acts nice and pretends to be your friend, they could still be a tricky person, and just because someone looks like a villain doesn't mean they are. Just because someone looks like a friend doesn't mean they are. It's the whole book by the cover thing.
If you could make a crossover between MLP and the franchise of your choice, what would you choose?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Breaking Bad.
Just because I've been watching it and I love it. Invincible and all main six take on Omni-Man. Who would win? I mean, the main six, obviously. Yeah.
I mean, let's get us in the MCU, I think. You know. Yeah.
I'm all CW, all the way. Riverdale. I would love a Riverdale. Oh, can you imagine?
I can. That's a good mashup. I like that.
Someone write it.
Yes, ma'am. Can we, just real quick from Cozy Glow, can we get like a quick I am the one who knocks?
I am the one who knocks.
Give me I am the dangerous guy. Give me I am the danger.
I am the danger.
Oh my god, it's like a jukebox.
Let's put in a quarter. Give me a quarter.
Real quick before I throw it back to full papers, I had a question for Raquel. Because I always love when someone has their first in-person pony convention. I want to know how it's going. So halfway through, what are your thoughts?
I love it. This is fantastic. Oh my God. Sorry, the light fell. I don't know how I feel anymore. No, I'm having a lovely time. Everybody has been so, oh my God.
You've cursed her, Lockrock, you've cursed her!
I have never felt so welcomed somewhere in my entire life, and I thank you all so much for just, I don't know, treating me like I'm part of this community. It means a lot, and it feels good. I feel great. Thank you, though, for asking. I'm having a really nice time. Thanks.
Thank you. So if anyone thinks of any questions that they want, you can still get in line. But I know that Full Papers has a few that you had queued up ready to go. So I'm going to toss it over to you and then...
Well, you've got some people coming up behind you.
All right.
Spooky. But how about, while we're on the topic, a huge round of applause for Luckrock for vetting the questions from your wonderful audience members. And while we're on the topic, a huge round of applause, as always, for our AV crew in the back making all this happen. Then, hell, round of applause for the chandeliers. Okay, let's take it to these two.
I'm going to throw you because I still have to vet them real quick. So you do one and then I'll go over
gotcha.
here.
I will vamp. I tell you what, though, I was listening to this script backstage and it was fantastic, Vivid. So, yeah, well done. Kudos to you.
Yeah, way to make use of the characters you were given. That was really nice.
There were a couple of moments, though, I think we need to discuss amongst ourselves here. Cole?
Like the fact that it was a Saw movie? Wasn't that great?
Oh, yeah.
That was beautifully done.
My Little Pony and Saw, another crossover.
I think that it is a moral imperative. I think it's very important that we ask you, Cole, can we have that dolphin sonic blast once again?
Oh, certainly. Yeah. So much fun.
It's so much fun that when it's right in your ear, too. I love it. It feels good.
It's going to be my text tone.
And Katrina, thoughts on Yona being basically a dog?
Yeah. I can see it.
Yona heart.
How are we doing down there, Lockrock? Cool.
Hi again. I was wondering if you would mind doing your favorite childhood line from a childhood show that you loved or movie in your character voice. Like, mine would be Rainbow Bright, so if I was a derby character, I'd be like, next time you see a rainbow, look up. You'll feel better from Rainbow Bright.
I have never heard that request before. That is awesome. Thank you for that. Who wants to go first on that?
I'm trying to think of my favorite show.
Childhood show?
Yeah, because I can think of the Smurfs, but I can't think of a single line.
I'm trying to be exact line.
Well, while you're considering those lines, shall we have the next question and then come back to that?
Yeah.
I was just wondering if I could get the various voice actors to have a demonstration of some unexpected voice that might be weird sound, something like that.
Fun.
Could you repeat that?
Like an unexpected voice? Like that?
Sure.
Okay.
That's
No, it was me, but I can do a pretty good Sunny Westbrook. That's Cozy Glow. Maybe.
See, now the gauntlet's been thrown, and I
Yak smash. Yeah. Look. Yeah. Katrina Yak, best yak.
Great. Unexpected voices. I really love doing accents. I love doing like Scots accents. It's a great time. That's lots of fun. That's a good time.
Where did Cole go?
And I'm still being an old man. If I can do that, please help me. Now my hip hurts.
This is a hard one. I don't know why they pay me to do this job as a voice person. What's like a... You're gonna hate this. Because I hate it. I used to do this to my roommate, and we actually got in a fight over it. It's fine.
Jenny, wake up. Look, cows outside your door.
It's kind of hot, actually. If you want me to come to the 18 plus panel and do that voice, I'll do it. I know. Okay, so sorry. Sorry. The question about the say a line as your character, but from a kids show. I don't have a kids show, but I do have a line from my favorite movie. If I can do it, or did you want to ask a question? It's Titanic.
Make it happen, Raquel.
Okay, that's fine.
Titanic's my favorite movie. Oh no, it's not 18. Well, it
Just
could be
making
18
sure.
plus. The scene that I'm talking about is 18. I want you to draw me like one of your French girls. Did you like that my hand was like in my overalls and I'm
How are we supposed to follow that?
Well, because I'm sitting here and I'm looking at this hat and I'm thinking, you stole fizzy lifting drink. You lose. You get nothing. Good days.
I guess, yeah, mine's for a movie too. It would be, would you prefer another target, a military target? Then name the system. I grow tired of asking, so this will be the last time. Where is the rebel base?
Oh my god. What am I? No, mine is literally so silly. I loved this show called 16. 16. I was obsessed with Caitlin. Like, honestly, this is embarrassing. When I was really little, I had my mom put Caitlin on a birthday cake instead of my name, because I was like, I want to be Caitlin instead of Katrina. So I said that. So Caitlin, in the first episode, has to get a job, and she hates it. So, a job! Yona doesn't want a job either.
All right, well, it looks like we've had all the questions from the audience, so I've got a few to throw at you. For folks who, we have a hand. Do I see a hand? Did you have a question? Can you approach the mic?
This is directly related to the Caitlin thing. Do you have any lines from when she had her meltdown or she was on her period? Do you remember that episode? Because it's always running in my brain.
Bits of it. Oh no, I'm remembering, like, the episode that's in my mind right now is actually, I think it's the Halloween episode when she has a zombie boyfriend and she like wants to keep him, and then his arm falls off and she keeps it instead.
I'm sorry, what is this show?
16, life is sweetly growing up. It's a really good show. It's
if you
based
haven't
on
watched it,
Ontario
just do
Mall.
it. If you haven't watched it, watch it.
Yes. Unfortunately, no, that episode, I'm sorry. It's leaving my mind, but I'm gonna rewatch it now. Now I'm gonna rewatch it. Yes.
I actually have a question for you as well, Katrina. Have I been butchering your last name because I have the English pronunciation? Is it Salisbury, or am I just saying it wrong?
That's right.
It is right. Oh, thank goodness for that. Okay, dodged a bullet there.
It's called me Salisbury too. I'm just that's fine.
Salisbury. Do you enjoy a certain type of steak? You've never heard that one before, have you? I'm so sorry.
No, never.
So I do have a question for you, Sonny. You all received the script, the marvelous script by Vivid Syntax. One more time.
It's in time. Just keep letting me get away with it.
You all received the script last night, and as you were reading through it, reviewing it, were you worried that the heel face turn that was going on with Cozy, the sudden, oh my goodness, has Vivid really made her good? Were you concerned, and were you pleased when you saw it was just Cozy being Cozy?
Yeah, I was having a moment of, well, okay, she's been in stone. She probably values friendship and company a little bit more than when she had the freedom to roam about. Haha, just kidding. So it made perfect sense that the turn made sense. But when I didn't know it was coming, I was trying to rationalize it. Because I really needed to understand my character's motivation. It's very important to me.
He's classically
As an
trained.
actor, I'm classically trained.
Well, we did say actually yesterday that yesterday would have been the more informal questions, and that this Q&A session we'd dive into craft and the classical training that Cole is so very obsessed with. Are you classically trained, Cole? I'm not sure if you've mentioned that.
I am classically.
Were you really off script, or were you peeking looks at Race Best?
No, it is the best part about voiceover. Is I haven't had to get off book for anything. It's the best. Yeah, it's I love it. I love a good cold read. Yeah, it's fun.
Let's talk evil characters versus good characters, because Sunny, you've made your views on that very, very clear, and I think everyone here is very appreciative of the joy that you bring to playing an evil character, right? But for the rest of you, good characters, evil characters, how do you, from a craft perspective, from a classical training perspective, how do you get into those? Is there a preference that you have for playing good versus playing evil? What is your approach there? And we'll start with you. Okay, we won't start with you. We'll start with Raquel.
Because of the way I sound, I have a very textured voice, as you can probably hear. I often audition for villains. I always do. I love it. I think they're so fun. And do I have a process? No, not really. I usually go like deeper or whatever, but I do, like Sunny was mentioning, I really love characters who are evil, but they're not, I don't know, they don't look evil. And for the most part, like for those who, I don't want to give spoilers, but whoever watches Dragon Prince, like my character.
You should watch it, it's so good.
If you don't watch it, I will fly home right now. I won't do that, I don't know how. But I am lucky to play, I feel very lucky that I get to play someone who's so weird and quirky, and then all of a sudden they do well things. And it's a fun little balance. Maybe it's not a balance, it's just fun. It's nice.
Well, because true villains don't see that what they're doing as a bad thing.
Yeah.
They have very good reasons for doing what they're doing, and it's usually because everybody else is not smart and they need to be told what to do. But they're not like, ooh, how can I be a villain today? It's more, this is my worldview, and people need to conform to what's best for them, and it's what I think is best for them. It's very Godfather.
Cole?
Yeah, I love playing villains. Playing villains is rad because I like to think that I'm a good guy in real life. Maybe not a hero, but a good guy certainly. But playing, getting an opportunity to be like, to play any kind of, how dare you? That cool, like those like anime bad guys. Like in like Beyblade, I got to play like, he's not like bad, but he's just like, he is a bad guy, but he's just like, he's got that thing where it's just, I'm so tired of everyone. Why are you like this? Couldn't you be a little better? I love that kind of stuff. I like playing. I like acting.
Fun fact about me, my first roles that I booked were villains, which to me I was like, what? Me? Okay, that's fun. I love it. I love playing villains, and I wish I read for more villains now. I don't read for villains as much anymore. It makes me sad. My dream role is to voice Harley Quinn in she's not a villain, but she does what she wants, and it's fun, and she makes bad decisions sometimes, and it's just fun to play. And not that playing like the hero's not fun, but it's like a very, like, you have your job and you have to follow it, and it feels like sometimes you can play more with villains. So,
Can we hear your Harley?
oh god, oh no, it's been so long since I've tried to do it.
Brought it up.
Mr. J?
That was fantastic. Looks like we've got another audience question, so please go ahead.
This might be related, but what are some favorite kind of tones or emotions to act?
Very good question. Favorite tones or emotions to act?
I don't know if it's an emotion, but I kind of like falling down the stairs. Right? Because you have to envision, how big is the staircase? What's at the bottom? How much did it hurt? Was it a big fall or a little fall? It's interesting.
I think that's definitely an emotion. There have been days where I'm like, how are you doing? Falling down the stairs.
Is maniacal or like unhinged an emotion? Those are my favorite. I'm not allowed to say what I'm doing, but there's a thing I'm doing. And And I literally get to do that, and it's so weird, and that's my favorite, hands down.
Seething.
Can we have any hint of when it might be coming out in the next 100 years?
I don't even know. That's the tricky thing. I tell you, I'll break an NDA. No, I won't.
No, you won't. No, you won't. I'm not going to be responsible for that. But at some point in the near future, Raquel Belmonte playing Maniacal. Who's looking forward to that? I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I like doing anything. I think like playing something like big and emotional, no matter what it is always kind of great. Like you know, anytime you can get like that sort of like that Pacino-y madness. Like, what are you doing? Like this kind of over, you're not focused. Like that kind of big stuff, veins popping out, so much fun.
The number of times I've flinched away from gold during this round.
Classic.
I was mesmerized by your hair. It was fun.
It's all in the hair. The acting's all in the hair.
Are you gonna go see Gucci?
So good.
He's in it. You're gonna go see Gucci?
Give you some Gucci?
No, he's in the Gucci movie. Are you gonna go see the Gucci movie?
Oh, no, probably.
Oh my
Maybe.
god.
I could write it up.
Plus he's hair acting.
Follow-ups from the audience? Thank you for your question.
While we're waiting on that, I have a mostly self-indulgent question. When you guys get a script like this for something that's, I'm going to say a smaller project, or if I can say the F word, fan fiction, like what are you kind of thinking is going through your mind as you're approaching something that's not, I'm going to say not professional quality, it's not the big like script format and everything?
I don't know. I haven't read anything that wasn't professional quality lately, so I don't recall.
And then Vivid died happy.
I treat everything like it's a professional thing, if that makes any sense. Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is. If someone hired you to do it, do a good job. And if you don't do a good job, like, go home. Fly home.
Yeah, Katrina and I were talking about this earlier, but whenever I get a script, generally it's Control F, and then I look for my character's name, and I'm like, okay, all right, I'm in it this amount, and then I'll read the script. That's generally that's the process. But yeah, no matter what it is, if someone puts a thing in front of me and says do the thing, I'm like, okay, yes, please, yeah, let's do it again. I feel like I'll do it again.
I just always want to try to do my best, so. Yeah.
And I do have a regular commercial client that I work with, and recently somebody new has been writing the copy. Okay, if you ever write a commercial, 75 words will give you a 30-second commercial. If you give a voice actor 130 words and ask them to fit them into 30 seconds, we have to turn into copywriters. So sometimes it's easier and faster to maybe guess and give them what they want and tune it up a little bit. And sometimes it's just at the point where you're like, hey, here's what it sounds like at my best as written. Let me know if you want any changes.
I'm glad to hear about the Control F thing, because one of the last things I do whenever I do these scripts is like mindlessly like look at my thing like, okay, Cole has 87 lines, Katrina has 86. Is that okay? Are they going to notice? And so the answer apparently is yes.
I don't know. No, I'm kidding.
Question.
Hello again. I'm curious, do you notice yourselves doing any funny faces when you do any of your voices?
Absolutely. Well, I don't notice, I feel it. I feel my face making funny. But it also helps with the voices. Honestly, like the way you move your face and your mouth helps with each character and each sound. So I think it's beneficial to do that if it works for you. And your hair.
Yeah, before I take an audition into the closet, it generally starts in front of a mirror. Just to see what's happening with my face and see what's happening with my body and stuff. Like standing and like this is a bit of classical training stuff, but it's like, you know, you act from your feet up, you know, and like it all, you know, you feel weight in different places and you're doing different things with your face, you know. When I get old, I get really crinkly and things are harder to see, you know. Yeah, I love making faces in the mirror is probably how I started acting. Probably. Oh yeah.
I thought I said that on mic. I'm an idiot. I said, didn't Jim Carrey do that? Yes. I don't notice my face, but that people will take pictures of me because I guess I am very animated, facially animated. And I'm like, that's gross. No one's face should stretch like that. No one's face should do that. Forget what the question was, but yes, I make a lot of awful faces.
You're beautiful.
Yes, you are.
Stop it, you're beautiful. Don't you dare. Don't, I'll let it, it's right, it went to my head. It went to my head.
So, I'm going to ask this as a two-part question. Because one of the perennial favorites at Q&As is what advice would you give people who wish to break into the industry? But I want to flip it a little bit. I want to ask what the best piece of advice you were ever given when it was your time breaking into the industry. What was the best piece of advice you were given? And also, what advice would you give to people who are dealing with imposter syndrome as they are trying to break into their particular fields? How do you, as professionals, deal with those voices inside that say, no, I suck at this, I should go and do something else? So those two bits of advice, if you would like to share them with the audience, that I believe will take us to the end of the session.
I've started over in my life many, many times, and I find it very frustrating to be at the bottom of the mountain and looking at the top and knowing where I want to be and not knowing what the path is to get there. And what I keep telling myself over and over again is just take the next step. The path will become clear when you look back and you see it, but you just got to keep taking those steps forward. Just keep doing the next thing, even if you can't really see where you're going. Just keep your eye at the top of the mountain and just keep taking the next step. And that's the thing I tell myself, the best advice I got about acting was don't quit your day job. Which is kind of a double-edged sword, because it's hard to 100% commit as an artist when you've got to work the dinner shift and come home and stand in your closet and audition. So, little from Palm Island. That's it. I'm done talking.
During the panini, yeah. Patience for me, which sucks because very impatient. But it was true. Like, I didn't book my first job until a year and a half after I had started auditioning, and I'm just there going, what am I doing with my life? I don't know, this is right, and it's never gonna happen. And to be honest, with the imposter syndrome thing, anytime I book it, like even after My Little Pony, I was like, that was a great run. That was it. That was my last job.
My career is clearly over now.
Yeah, I'm never gonna book again. Like, that was a fun ride, wasn't it? I think for myself and for a lot of people too that imposter syndrome will never go away, no matter what level of success and what success means to me. If I achieve it, I don't think it'll ever go away, which is fine as long as I can figure out how to curb it and just kind of have and I think I said yesterday, you have to have a really good group of people around you, really good friends that can, be there for you to just get like all of like your stuff off your chest. Yeah, and pick you up and be like, no, like your feelings are valid, but also like, come on, that's silly. Yeah. Like last year, I had a terrible year, and I was like, I think I'm done. I think I'm done acting. No, honestly, I was like, yeah, I think I should probably like go back to school and start thinking about other things and like what I want to do with the rest of my life. And my partner was like, okay, come on, like, no, stop. And I'm like, no, I don't. Oh, yeah, okay. And then, yeah, a year goes by, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm working again. Okay, all right. So it's just you're gonna have really bad days, and that's okay. But then you just have to know that it will get better. Yeah.
I think the best piece of advice I was ever given was probably by my agent, and she said early on in my career, she said, "Hey, if not this, something else." And yeah, she's an absolute rock star. And then the other best piece of advice, which was a really hard lesson to learn, was I went to an audition completely unprepared. There was like a song I didn't even know. I showed up, I kind of gave it a whatever, I gave it a buzz, and then I left, and when I got home, the director called me, and he said, if you ever show up that unprepared again, you'll never audition for me again. And I was like, and the fact that he took the time out of his day to call me and say that, it told me a lot. It told me that he thinks that I could do better, and I took that to heart, and I have never auditioned for him again. No. Yeah, and then I think that just in general, if you're looking to do this, or if you're looking to get into this, but just in general, I think one of the best things, and I wish I'd started doing it earlier, was treating myself like a professional, and like really appreciating and respecting what I can do and what I like to do, and that comes with like that's in things like preparing for auditions. That is in things like riding the waves of imposter complex. Like it's a hard road to hoe, and it's tough, and you can't do it by yourself. You need the people around you, and yeah, treat yourself like a professional, no matter what you're doing. You know, respect yourself, and then other people will respect you. Like if you show up and you say, "I can do this," the other person has to say, "I guess they can do that." You know, and it's a great bit of advice. So yeah.
And Raquel.
I learned very early on in my improv career from multiple. They're not professors, they're improvisers. From multiple improvisers. Be so undeniable they can't say no. But what I've learned over the past however many years of doing performance stuff is not only be so undeniably, good, but be undeniably, I forgot, when you say a word so many times you just forget? Be undeniably you. That is so important to always have like a piece of you in your work. I also think that, it's easy to say, be good. Yeah, be good at it, but being good is a lot of work. So make sure you're doing the work. You're not owed anything. You're not, you don't deserve something because you've done it for, so long. No. What are you doing? What are you doing to make sure you're staying on top of it? What are you doing to make sure, you are the best version of whatever you're supposed to be doing? I think that's the same thing I said a second ago. Anyway, and then for imposter syndrome, well, that's fun. This is something, I have it very bad, but this is something that I started doing recently. I like to remind myself, and it's hard to do, easier said than done, but remind yourself of what you've accomplished and why you're doing what you're doing. Why are you doing this? Raquel, why are you laughing in a microphone like this and it's not good and you're losing your voice? Why are you even doing this? Oh, right, because I love this. Why do I love this? And you just kind of go through the checklist in your head and then go through who loves you? Who is supporting you? Your circle of people is very important. That's another thing I've learned very recently.
Well, on that wonderful note, let's show some love and appreciation for our wonderful panelists, Sunny Westbrook, Katrina Salisbury, Cole Howard, Raquel Belmonte, and the one and only Vivid Syntax. And for AC Race Best as well, who departed a little bit earlier. Now, that is the panel, folks. Next up in here, we have the Cosplay Competition at 2:30. If you have questions or just want to spend more time with our wonderful guests of honor, they have an autograph session at 2:30, but let's get out of here because